Okay, be confident. Be absolute confident in yourself. And I'm going to tell you, from years and years of being a salesman, and everybody is a salesman. Most of your life you are. You really are. But something that I learned later on in life here was that you got to be confident. I used to go, especially starting out, I'd be nervous as heck. I really need that account because I'm really trying to grow my business, blah, 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 blah. And I would just basically do anything to try and obtain that business. I have learned all these different tricks now, and now I come in and I'm going to tell you what my secret is. I feel is one of my best kept secrets to coming in and landing customers is I tell myself before I even get on their property, you know, I am not dependent on getting this customer. I care that I get the customer, but it's not going to make or break me either way. And I tell myself this. So when I go up there, I'm automatically calm as a cucumber. I've got no worries. I'm excited. I'm not all bent out of shape. And I'm just like, I want to be a good listener and I want to get that job. But at the same time, if they try to beat me down on price or anything else, I just simply back up and say, Mrs. Jones, the reason you've had trouble in the past with these companies, I can tell you why. They're not showing up half the time, whatnot. It's because they're not making money. So that's why they don't care about you. We charge a little more money, but we're worth it. And here's why. Do you want a dependable company? Do you want guys that you know are going to be there every week, who are licensed, who are insured? Oh, and by the way, look at this. Go in your portfolio, pull it up, give it to her. Say, by the way, here's a copy of our insurance that we carry. You know, we've got $1 million liability policy there. If anything should happen, if we throw a rock through your beautiful patio window over there, or through your car window, how many of these other guys that you've had in the past do you think would actually have repaired something that they would break? You know, it's simple things like that you can do to make yourself better, okay? That you can really do to sell yourself to the customers, okay? So be confident. I try to read into their personality. That's another thing I like to do. For instance, when I pull up, I like to look around that property and kind of see what they're into, especially if I see something like a motorcycle in that shop. That's something I can relate to. That's, I can relate to him perfectly. I'll start talking about his motorcycle. I'll start talking about my motorcycle. I'll start talking about the rides that go on. I'll start talking about, have you ever been to Sturgis? Have you been to Bike Week? In Daytona, all these different things. Now, and that's great because I found something to talk about with him. If I can't, I may, just by looking out of the corner of my eye towards that garage, and I might see golf bags set up in there. Okay, automatically, somebody in that family likes golf, and I'll just bring it up. Oh, so do you golf much? And he'll say, yeah, I do occasionally, this, that, and the other, and then you just start talking about it. I don't know the first thing about golf because I don't golf much, but I did it once as a bachelor thing, but I sucked at it, and I almost got in a fist fight with some guys out on the green, as they call it, because I was over there trying to play through. There's like 9 of us, and hardly any of us could play. So we're missing the ball half the time, But we went because my buddy was getting married, wanted to do this, So these guys come up blasting a horn at us and whatnot, and I almost ended up in a fist fight with them. We did get kicked off the green, as it were. But regardless, that's neither here nor there. And see how I stray? I got to stop that, so I'm going to stay more focused. Okay. Anyway, try to read into their personality. If they come out and they're huffy and they're gruffy and this and that, I try to calm them right down. I try and calm them down immediately, address their concerns, and then let them know why it's important they do business with me. Okay? I don't let them get me riled up at all anymore. But read into them. If you have an older lady that comes out of the house, she can barely walk, and I have no problem walking up to her and saying, oh my goodness, it looks like you're in pain. Did you hurt your hip or something? And all of a sudden, she'll start talking about it. And the next thing you know, we're talking about it for 10 minutes. And before you know it, she's my customer. She signs up because now she trusts me. She knows I was a good listener, and I'm addressing all her concerns, and I actually care about her right off the bat. Okay? So keep that in mind. Let's see. Reassure them you're always available. That's another important thing you got to do. I let them know that we answer our phones 7 days a week. The only time we're not answering that phone is when we're sleeping at night. Otherwise, when we're up in the morning, we're up at 7 o'clock on, and we'll answer our phone till we go to bed at 10 o'clock at night or whatever. I let them know that we're always available and that we have office people that are always there answering the phones if we're not. So even on the weekends, my wife and I, we take turns with the office girls. We'll take the phone home on the weekend. We'll make sure we have it or the office girls have it. We make sure somebody's answering that phone all the time. So that's how important that is. But explain the benefits of using your company, why you are so much different than everybody else. And it can be all the way from, well, as you know, we answer our phones. What happened when you tried to call our company? Did you get an answering machine? No, you got a person. You know why? I spend the money on it. I put people behind that desk just to answer that phone. So, well, it's part of their job. But I want to make sure your concerns are always addressed. We're always available, almost 24/7. Like I said, the only time we're not is when we're sleeping. But know this, if you have a concern with our company, you can call and you're going to get a response. We're there for you because you're our bread and butter. This is how we make our money. This is how we make a living, by taking good care of you and hopefully you telling other customers about us. That's how we grow as a company. They don't have to know all the other million things you're doing to grow, but you make them feel like it's all about them. That's your whole goal behind this thing, okay? The benefits, make sure, let them know how dependable you are. It starts at the phone. You were Johnny on the spot. You came out and saw him. Be there often. Tell them. Once we get you set up on a schedule, they do change in the spring because we always get an influx of new customers. But generally, after the spring is over, after you're into that May and June area there, at that point, everything evens out, and it's generally the same day every week. The only thing that would change that is if we have rain, something like that, okay? If it rains for 3 days, obviously we're 3 days behind, so keep that in mind. And even then, if we have your email address, we send you alerts telling you we're behind because of the rain and things like that. So we're always trying to communicate with you, which we found to be very beneficial for us. So as you're telling them all these things, they're eating this up. They're eating it all up, and all of a sudden, at the end of the day, they look at you like you're Jesus Christ himself because you don't leave the gate open so their chihuahua can get out. You are there every day of the week. Look how you are. Johnny on the spot. He answers his phone. He's professional. He's got a nice truck out there. Look at him. This guy is 10 times better than the competition that I see running around our neighborhood all day long. Do I have to pay him a little more? Maybe I do. Maybe I don't. Maybe I was paying that guy the same amount of money. We have that a lot too. So in their mind, you have to give them all the reasons that you show up all the time, that you're dependable, that you have GPS tracking units in the truck where you can track your guys, where we have managers that constantly follow up with our properties. That'll come out and see them at least every 2 weeks. We got a manager that comes on your property and makes sure that everything is okay. He'll come around and knock on your door and talk to you and ask you about things and make sure everything's right, because we value your business. So these are all things you can tell people that will make them fall in love with you and help you earn their trust, hence their business. So hopefully these tips have helped you out. We do have a truth series that's going to be coming out shortly, and where we really go into a lot of detail on this stuff, and way more than what I just have covered. But hopefully these tips will help you to gain more customers, and it's all tried and true stuff that we've used. So if you have any comments, please leave them down below. If you have any other ideas for things that I haven't covered that you'd like me to cover, please leave them down below or send me an email from my website. I'll be happy to answer them. And hopefully this will help you out. This is George Packard, Family Lawn and Landscape. Have a great night.